Hey folks, it's Michael Johnson. Welcome to this week's Energy Sketch. You are where you are, so be there now. So, what I'm going to talk about today is a tendency I've noticed in myself, particularly lately for some reason, and sharing it here in the hopes that it might resonate for others. So, I've been meeting up with some old buddies, and right when we meet up with old buddies, we think of the old days where we were doing adventures and we were up to big things. And I'm thinking back to my past times of doing big hiking adventures, running, trail running, a lot more physical activity than I've been getting lately. And there's this tendency to look back on those glory days with a kind of sadness. And so I'm going to plot something on this axis here. We can plot accomplishment versus time. And I intentionally put accomplishment in quotes here because you could measure anything really in your life. So in my case specifically here, let's think that the number of kilometers of cycling or the number of mountains climbed, in a 1 week period, and you would plot that something like this. And here we are today, let's say. And the tendency is you're sitting here today. The tendency is to be looking back, right? And thinking to yourself, wow, it's so sad, right? The level is so low compared to those glory days. But there's a few ideas here that I'd like to just bring to your attention, and it's been helpful for me, is to recall, first of all, we are not unidimensional. So there are other, there's the whole host of axes here down here. We can measure other things that used to be really low during these times and now have built up to be really strong, and then say, oh, wow, looking back, like, look at all the progress that I've made. And there are an infinite number, really, of things that have you could measure in your life, and you could look at any number of these. So that's the first one. We are not one dimensional. And the second one is to recognize really there are seasons, right? So here we're going up, we're coming down, we're resting, we're recovering, we're going up, we're coming down, and other things have been building up, and things come and go as seasons, and it's really our choice to actively choose what we are going to work on, and what on the y-axis here, which y-axis are we putting more value on? So it's not necessary to get sad when we think, past accomplishments and glory days. All that's more important is really focusing on being here now where you are with the capacities that you have and doing the best you can with them. And of course, also sustainably taking care and maintenance and health and well-being and all of those global things that can then, ensure that, yeah, you are well in a sustainable way. So those are the thoughts today, folks. The other thing here, I forgot to say, seasonality. So remember, we are not one dimensional, and there are many things that come and go, many different seasons of our life. So love the seasons and be with the seasons right here, right now. Hope it was useful. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next week, Monday, 12 p.m., youtube.com/@energy sketch. Toodaloo!